Day doesn't start without coffee.
So here it is. This video I'm going to talk about fasting, and it's really important to understand what are the benefits of fasting so you can implement this in your life. Number one benefit of fasting is that you will increase your focus. Number one benefit. You can do an experiment on yourself. You can wake up, not eat until 3 or 4 hours, and then see the benefits of just not eating, okay? And then this brings in productivity. If you want to be productive, try to be fast. Try to be in a fasted state in the morning if you are a morning person. If you're in the night person, forget about it. It doesn't even apply because you probably won't wake up until 11 a.m., 12, and then just repeat that cycle again. And so wake up in the morning, don't eat until 3 or 4 hours, and compare it to the days where you had breakfast or you had some sort of high carb breakfast, and you will see the difference. It will clear your brain, you'll be more decisive, clear thought processes. It's experiment. You can try this at your own time. Okay. And why do you? So the reason why you increase focus is because when you are in a fasted state, you will release hormones like epinephrine that will help you increase focus. Epinephrine is a hormone that is released during flight or fight response. But we're going to use this towards our productivity, towards our work or school or whatever you're doing first thing in the morning. So we're going to use the release of epinephrine when we're in a fasted state to work for us. So that's the number one benefit of fasting. And I'll give you an example. I used to eat breakfast first time waking up first time, but it couldn't it didn't feel like I was focusing enough. I was just waking up to have food. When I was a little bit more bigger, was more obese, I used to have breakfast. I was just waking up to have food. Now when I eliminated that, I looked forward to working. I looked forward to doing schoolwork. I looked forward to doing more productive things in the morning. Just because I eliminated food, I increased my epinephrine levels. I want my body to work towards me and not against me. When you eat food first thing in the morning, chemical reactions go up, and then everything is centered here, and everything that your body does it towards digesting that food and not up here. We want your chemicals, you want your hormones to work here when you're working, okay? Not here. You don't want that. So I hope I have convinced most of the people to do some sort of fasting because it will be for their benefit. Number two is that fasting results in weight loss over time. It's not like a one-day thing unless you do water fast, okay? Unless you do water fast. And water fast is a real thing. People do water fast and see incredible results. It's no joke. And it's also something that people could do, but it's just an extreme. Okay, that I don't want to speak about doing myself because I will never do it, I know. Some people will never do it. But some of them have done it, and you can see podcasts about how doctors recommend water fasting just because they could regain any sort of they could be healthy again. They could reverse a disease. Doctors have spoken about this fasting, how fasting could reverse diseases. They have spoken about this, but you have to gain knowledge for yourself in order to believe it. And so apart from health, apart from the major reversing diseases, we're not talking about that. I don't want to really get into that because that's really complex, and I'll leave that to health professionals and people who research those topics. But I want to focus on fasting to lose weight over time. And so, exactly, when you increase epinephrine level, so when you're in a fasted state, you will release this hormone. It will bind to your fat cells and try to release as much breakdown products of this triglycerides it could produce, okay? So this will, in the blood, you will have free fatty acids and glycerol. You can turn this into ATP whenever your body needs it. So we want epinephrine, okay? So as I've explained, when you increase epinephrine levels, you will mobilize fat into fatty acids and glycerol, and those two could work towards you and used as fuel. And so that's fat loss, okay? That is fat loss. And so how can you induce that? Don't wake up and eat. Wake up and just fast. Fast for a few hours and then eat so that you will be in this fasted state. Now, also don't have a high carb morning or a high carb lunch, because that will also slow this process down. I'm not saying you go on a keto diet, because most people can't sustain that. We're talking about longevity, and we're talking about a diet that we could sustain. So don't just don't just go on an all keto diet. I'm not saying you should go on an all keto diet. I'm just saying go on a high protein, low carb diet and have a high carb meal at the in the evening, so that you could still get benefits of fasting. You could still release epinephrine and work towards you. And then you could, so at nighttime when you have a high carb meal, you'll see that you will be more lazy and more relaxed, and more in a relaxed, meaning more physiologically relaxed, right? And so that is good, because in the evening you don't want to, you're just trying to like relax down and just trying to end the day. And so that will work for you. That will work for you. So having a high carb meal at night, at evening, having a low carb meal in the morning is the way to go for overall mental health and physical health too. And I would like to end this topic with a personal story of mine, with how I used fasting and how I used fasting to my benefit, basically. I used to be a freshman in college taking chemistry class and eat 4 Indian flatbreads. And then I used to doze off in class. High carb is not a way to go if you want to be productive. And believe it or not, you can be really proud of your culture having foods like that, but you don't have to eat it. You could respect the foods that your culture has, but you don't have to eat it. Okay, it's fine if you don't eat it, because at the end of the day, it's you and your work and how you see your work. And if you want to be more productive, you have to run yourself an experiment by comparing 2 days of high carb days and low carb days. So it's all up to you. Most people can figure out their own problems, and so can you.